Donald Trump has launched a new attack on his main challenger for the Republican nomination, Ron DeSantis. The current field of candidates vying for the nomination stands at 9, including Trump's former Vice President Mike Pence. But Donald Trump is still the clear favourite, leading in all the major opinion polls. Here he is taking another shot at DeSantis, who remains a distant second.
Ron has always been a loser. In fact, he was going to lose the election in record numbers until I endorsed him. So it was an artificial win. They were with me and they won. When I cut off ties to them, they continuously lose.
Joining me now, as he does every week, is the host of the US Report on Sky News and one-third of The Outsiders, James Morrow. James, great to see you as always. What prompted this particular intervention from former President Trump?
Well, it's the fact that I think that there's some big Ron energy out there at the moment. Donald Trump has had a bit of a hard time here after the documents case, the espionage indictment, and he's looking to make some noise. Now, I just think that, though, every time he comes out and does something like this, he winds up hurting himself with a lot of Republicans who are in the, I'll vote for Trump, I'll vote for DeSantis camp. I don't care who's the nominee. This sort of internecine warfare that Donald Trump is playing at is going to hurt him with a lot of Republicans, but more than that, it's turning him off with the independents he's going to need to win a general election. Trump is in a very precarious position here. He needs to present that same positive, make America great vision that he had in 2016 if he's going to have a hope of holding on to what looks at the moment like a commanding lead.
It is a commanding lead, but as you and I have told our viewers on many occasions, we're still many, many months away from all of this being finalised.
Yeah, and there's a few things that are going to be, on the calendar now. New August, they're going to have the trial over the documents that were he was indicted in Mar-a-Lago in Florida. So that's going to be a very early play as part of the primary season. And then you've got the whole thing going on in New York. That's going to be in the middle of primary season. So there's a bunch of roadblocks that are being put in front of Trump that are going to hit him just as the campaign is heating up.
Before we move to look at the latest on the Biden matters, I do want to ask you about DeSantis. You said there's a bit of energy around. I've seen a number of polls this week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when it's head-to-head Biden, DeSantis is proving, at least at this stage, according to the polls, a more appealing option for Republicans if they want to win. Yeah,
look, and, the thing that we've been speaking a lot about, and we speak about on the U.S. report, too, is the fact that there's an awful lot of Democrats who want Donald Trump to be the nominee because they think that in a Biden-Trump contest they can win. But as we've spoken about, Kieran, before, I've always said that the party that gets the first mover advantage with having a young candidate, and DeSantis in his 40s, will lock in a new generation against the octogenarian on the other side.
Yeah, good point. And on Hunter Biden, those developments, how have they been received this week, where it looks like he will avoid jail time?
Oh, mate, this is just an absolute disgrace. And, if there was ever any proof that there's a two-tier justice system, here it is. It's at Hunter Biden. One writer called it a controlled demolition, where they just very carefully hit him on a couple of very narrow things, and then they can now say, oh, the Hunter Biden matter, that's over, that's done with, and then, try and get some clear air for the president. But, there's a lot more stuff, including the millions of dollars that there's evidence of transfers in from China and Ukraine that still have to be dealt with.
So in terms of where to from here, how does this unfold? Because for Joe Biden, it's obviously not ideal. He and his wife say they're standing by his son, but it's obviously not great. Quite a distraction for him and his administration.
The bigger issue for Joe Biden now is if the House committee that's investigating all of this, run by James Comer, keeps pushing at this, because there are a lot of finance records that they have subpoenaed from banks. And you know what they said in Watergate, follow the money. So if they keep following that money, and does appear to be circumstantially a very complex network of bank accounts and Biden family members, that money was funneled from these companies through Hunter and others around Biden family bank accounts. The question is why? I mean, Hunter Biden, is an unemployable crack addict, and he was turned into this sort of multi-million-dollar oil and gas consultant and hedge fund guy. I mean, come on, it just doesn't make sense.
James Morrow, US report, Fridays 8 p.m. Look forward to it, James. Thanks as always.